say that Rick has stayed on from our last hangout. He's staying on with us. He's going to listen to Claudio. So this hangout has Claudio. Hello, Claudio, and Rick. So hi, guys.
Hi, Karen. Hi, Rick.
Hi, Claudio. Hi, Karen.
Hey. So I asked Claudio to come on today because a lot of people are going through masses right now and not realise why they're going through it. But Claudio knows why, don't you, Claudio?
It's got a very good indication, yeah.
Do you want to explain that then, Claudio, what it's about?
Yeah, sure. Well, as part of our journey, the calendars and schools don't teach us this journey. I think it's, simply put, it's the fall of Babylon. In other words, the material world is going to crumble down to only necessities, right? We've been in the dark ages, so to speak. The mother of all mothers is back. It's in the stars. I can get some detail about that later, made videos on it. It's very evident in the sky and the stars, what's playing out. In short, the mother, the coronavirus, okay, the virus just means cleanse. Back in October of last year, when people started talking about the great conjunction of Pluto Saturn, we went and researched it, and using the correct astrology, you'll see that conjunction happened on the river of heaven. If you don't use the right astrology, or if you use different number of signs, you would have missed it. So the corona cleanse is because the mother of all mothers, which is the story of the queen from the underworld in all walks of life. I show the depictions and the names of every one of them, like Mictecahuatl, Isis, Persephone, Eris, Ereshkigal, Freya, on and on, Mayat. That's all the same story of the woman that comes back, the mother rising with the sun. In Italy, it's the La Madonna di Caneto, and you see that the Madonna and the baby are black. That's because they're coming from spirit, where there's no light, no manifest. So she's back. She's coming in and out of our head. Every year she stays longer, kind of like a work hardening. In 2022, every Easter now, she's getting closer and closer with rising with the sun on Easter. So what that means is she's transiting from Pisces into Aries. So that's material shift into spiritual shift. So we're done with the playground, the sandbox. She's left us alone for 2,000 years, and we got to clean up the mess. So the mess is a physical and metaphysical cleanup. We're idling statues, we're idling money, we're idling people, we're idling politicians, we're idling all kinds of things. And those are the things that we got to let go of. So all our karmic attachments, it's all in your natal chart. All they want you to do is learn about if you don't want to learn about your chart, look up to the sky, ask for guidance. You can get it in several different ways. You don't have to learn your chart if you don't want to, but it's all in there. So as all these energies go by us to cleanse us, because we've done so many charts now watching people's cleanses, and it's so evident, it's so clear, and it's invigorating. So people are going through this, they don't understand why, but it's a material cleanse. You just basically have to ask for guidance and you'll get it. It's that simple. Just got to tune into the frequency. As we all know, these bodies are just a radio. Our soul is the signal. So we're infinite. Definitely infinite. But we got to have this experience here in this materialistic realm, which is very materialistic right now. And it's gonna be cleansed, and there's no choice. You have no choice. You will be cleansed. So you might as well just jump into the one love wave, like James calls it, the thought current. You got to jump in, and it just gets so beautiful and relaxing when you just jump in. But there's going to be so many signs, karmic signs, that come upon you. Like, for example, we moved in over here, buddy let us use his condo, and we came to use his condo, and a guy that I owed $30 from 2 years ago, never seen him, right? We'd sold our condo, and he came to fix this condo. He goes, "Hey, you owe me $30. I said, "Absolutely. I'm glad I bumped into you." And I gave him the $30. So that's just a simple example, but there's going to be all kinds of people, things happening in your life that need to get cleansed. So there's a spiritual confession on our plate. but not the way they taught us confession, where you go to the priest and you tell him what you did. No, 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 no. You're vibrating a message that shouldn't go. If you did something, you're supposed to replay it in your head, reenact the whole thing in your head, how you would have done it the right way, and let it go. That's how you cleanse. So you can either do it that way, or you come back and try again with a rebirth, with a reincarnation. So until you gain this wisdom and knowledge, we keep going round and round on the circle, on the gerbil wheel, this circle of life. We're infinite, so it doesn't really matter. But it's up to everybody to grasp this and keep going forward, and it just becomes easier when you do that. So
unfortunately, though, they're putting it on all these into politics and the lockdown, and they're using it that way, aren't they? Unfortunately, for the people.
but you know how many people aren't okay, so you know how many people aren't part of it and don't feel it at all, and are just watching the news, and they put themselves in the situation and they feel everything. It's not what it's about. Shut the TV off, go live your life, go for a walk, look to the stars, look at the moon, and connect with nature. Animals will come into your life. They're messages. Go to spirit-animals.com and read the square box there at the top. It's random. It lines so well with what the messages you're supposed to receive. It's like crazy invigorating. So if you ever watch the movie, apparently the book, which I downloaded an audiobook, Celestine Prophecy, it's about what's happening now. So the spirit strength, the soul signal is increasing. So you're going to get what you want, no matter if it's good or not good. So if you want to attract those things into your life, you're going to get them. So the simplest, easiest way is just to don't let any images in your head unless they're positive. They shine good light and make you feel good. Don't let any words leave your lips unless they're positive. If you like, I've told Karen many times, and I've said it before, if you want to use something that's not good, just use that word and put not in front of it, not good. That person was not nice. So you can use the word not with a good word and still get the message across. Right now, anything that, like I said, anything you allow in is going to be your vibe. And you can have that. You can manifest whatever you want. But know that there's karmic attachments with that, because mama's back, and we got to go back to the love of the mother and her son. It's invigorating to hear people's stories and the premonitions and everything that they're getting, and they're all lining up with what I say. But when I say I mean we, because everything that we've picked up, it's from bits and pieces from everybody. And when we realize that no one man or woman is an island, you start realizing that once we all grow together and take down all these things that stop us from being together, that's when we grow in strength. So the more and more we all jump on this one love wave, thought current, the easier it becomes. So when speaking, if somebody starts using not positive words, I really try to shun it out because it's not right. And I just kindly ask, can you rephrase it with only using positive words, because it's just going to make you feel better and it makes everybody listening feel better. So if you talk only with positiveness, it's a good vibe. So it's in the sky, it's in the stars, it's in the charts. Like I said, we've learned how to do the astrology that the profit mongers use. That's why they changed the calendar. So you won't know how to play the stock market like they do. We've predicted 3 market downturns. We don't do anything with it because we don't chase pixels.
I think for those people who are listening to audio, obviously Rick hasn't met you before. Would you just tell him the things that you're into?
Oh, I'm into truth. I'm into truth and physics and metaphysics, because that's where it's all at. So physics equals metaphysics, as above, so below, right? I mean, Ken Wheeler is like the most intelligent guy with physics and metaphysics on the earth, bar none. I mean, there's all kinds of people that are awesome, but this guy is like, if it weren't for him, and people like Karen that led me to Santos and Ken Wheeler, It's all bits and pieces of everybody trying to get together. But the guy has nailed it. It's so simple. You can teach a child. So the schools are wrong. The dendrozodiac, which we're trying to decode, we've got I'd say about 40% of it. It shows you at what age do you have to tell the kids and what to teach them. Our schooling system, as we know, is all screwed up. But what is the right teaching? Well, it's the dendrozodiac, and it tells you what to teach them and when to prepare them to make them understand that they're going from, as they're born, they're still spirit, which the new babies now, and I can vouch for that for my grandson. You got to see the spiritual things they do, and they look at you, and you know that you're connecting with them. So, what I do is I like to say I'm studying astrology, the astrologo,
You also
which is
understand
the
about
study of the
common law,
stars.
don't you, Claudio? Common law.
Yeah, and common law is all part of it too, right? Moon law. So yeah, I mean, we've studied all the fake legalese and all the things that man did to try to make those idealistic pixels and money, and then everybody wants to be a queen and a king, but we're going after the wrong queen, and there is no king. It's only the female energy. Men's done a great job of hiding that too. So, but it's all part and parcel of our lesson. It's predefined. We're supposed to go through the dark ages to see what it's like without love and the mess that we make. And now it's time to clean up. Mama's back home. We got to learn to get along in the sandbox.
Okay, can I just say one thing, Rick? Do you want to explain to Claudio what you're more into? So, I've learnt today that Rick is a counsellor, and
Nice.
just explain that. Yeah, Rick.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I have a degree in psychology, and I was a counselor for a few years, and I've counseled families and children with their terrifying things that they went through, to give them therapy, to counsel them, and to give them different references and different things to look at, to make them feel better about whatever happened to them. So, if I was a counselor, Amy,
Hi,
is that
Claudio.
Amy?
Yes. Hi, Claudio. How
That
are
was Rick.
you?
That was Rick, Amy.
Oh,
Hi. Hi.
hi, Rick. Hi, Karen.
Amy's come to join us as well, but I just
Yeah.
wanted Rick to explain who he was. Thank you, Rick. I know we've just done a hangout together, but Claudio
Oh,
doesn't know who Rick is, so I just wanted Rick to say who he was.
yes. Great.
Amy's my right-hand lady.
Yes. That's right.
Amy, good to hear from you. Like I've described before, you're not as shy as you think you are.
Oh, thank
No.
you, Rick.
Yeah, she comes on my hangouts.
That's right. Yes, Karen's helping me overcome my shyness.
Anyway, so
Well,
Claudio was, Claudio was just in the middle of explaining
yeah,
something, so we
Oh,
need to go.
yes.
No, Rick, let Rick
Me-
finish. Rick was not done. He's still going.
Go on then,
yeah,
Rick.
sorry. Yeah, thank you, Claudio. Yeah, me and Karen have been talking for literally hours. Okay, so she knows it, and I've heard a lot of personal things with her that happened that before we actually started live chatting. So I'm not. If she wants to chat about that, it's cool. I'm not gonna go into it, but yeah, we. I think one thing that Karen that we talked about a lot was narcissism, and so that's a prevalent thing that's happening right now, in my life, her life, in everyone's life, in our experience. So, once you learn about that, then, or at least understand it, you can at least grasp it for just a bit. And that's all you can do. You can just grasp it for a bit, because narcissism, in the true sense, is they don't care about you. They want control. Right? That's what that's what it's about. And we all seek love, right? I seek love. But when you seek love too much to the point where it's all about yourself, then that changes. Then you don't listen.
What was that? You all right, Rick?
Yeah, hey. Yeah, I had a friend come on live right now, but I turned it off because I want to continue this conversation. It's great. Claudio, you're great, man. I understand that I think you're you're religious in some way. Am I wrong?
I would say spiritual, only for the fact that religion has been secularized, right? So more spiritual, right? I'm 100% into the stars, and religion teaches you don't look at them. That's man doing that. When the Greeks translated the Bible into English, to which why there's literally thousands of versions of the Bible. There should only be one, and to me, the only one living Bible is with glyphs. Is the Dendra Zodiac. That is the Bible. It's got everything in there, 100%. It's got your rebirths, teaches you everything, shows you the Milky Way, the 60 repeating numbers, Fibonacci, the Da Vinci Code fits around it. We've been cracking that. It's cracked wide open. We just now need to get some glyphs determined. If you want to specifically rewrite the Bible in the right way, it's the Dendra Zodiac. So I'm very spiritual. I feel very connected. Everything that happens, I can feel the flow. Things are happening in such great synchronicity, and I know we've only just scratched the surface. So it's beautiful, and that's why I just tell people to jump in. We don't sell anything. We don't make anything. We don't do anything except for just sharing and connecting with people. So we can live within our means, and there's no need for us to do anything other than that. So I know people need to do that because they have to survive, and I get that, and it's all good. So, but no, I'm not. I don't want to stay religious only because it's been deemed incorrectly.
I asked Claudio to come on because I wanted him to remind people what's going on, why all the uncertainties and everything's going wrong, what it's all about, to do with the stars.
Carry on, Claudio. I'm interested because
Okay. So
hold on, Claudio. Let
sure.
me explain something real quick.
Sure.
In my YouTube channel, which I shouldn't really call a YouTube channel, it's an account, because I posted videos of the sun and the moon in the sky at the same time, which I think, for me, it's a phenomena. Like, how can that exist with all these mathematical numbers that they tell us about 93 million miles away, and the moon is like what, 266,000, 100,000 miles away? How do they match up? They're within our own atmosphere. in my opinion, and it's amazing to me. And I that's why I posted these videos, because uh I just it's strange to me and I question it, and I want people to think about it. So yeah, I'm kind of with you. I mean, I think
Yeah,
you
they're in our atmosphere. You can actually, if you're there when the moon is sort of appeared, you can actually watch it go up and go into the clouds. So it almost
yes,
starts at land level. This thing comes out almost on the land and goes up.
right. I know. Every time I go out my house, I look at if I see the sun, I'm like, wow, that's not 93 million miles away. That's right here. That's near
It's
me.
just there above your head. I know.
Right. Of course, man.
So what's your question to Claudio then?
Well, I mean, I guess my question is, how do you have a mathematical thing that that you say that's where it is or whatever?
Yeah. Okay. So that's a really, really interesting question, because I ask it myself all the time. The thing is when you learn physics, and physics is really physics, the study of phi. That's why philosophia, that's phi in there. 1 to 5, the ratio of Plato's divided line. If you look at Plato's divided line, it's infinite, infinite in and out. So what we see is just part of what we are vibrated with in this radial body. So there is no real distance, so to speak. There is no real time, so to speak. Now, this is getting metaphysical, right? And again, these are the teachings from Ken Wheeler, which you can make sense of, and it just fits. Just like the mountains were trees, the big dinosaurs were animals. We keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller as we get more and more enlightened, right? So the distance away, it's very simple. You can go look at Ken Wheeler and just look up magnetic egg, and he takes a magnet, a very strong magnet, puts it in a glass of water, puts it in the freezer. When he takes it out, you have a frozen glass of water, but around the magnet there is water, because the magnetic field keeps the ice from melting, and it's in the shape of an egg. So that is the physical model of what we're living in, a field. And all fields are in the shape of 1 to 5. So it's incommensurate nature of the cosmos. So everything we see is a reflection off of the firmament, is a reflection off of that ice. That's why there's an ice wall around us. So the model is very beautiful. That's why I don't use the word flat earth, because that's a turnoff. I say we live within the magnetic field, which nobody wants to oh, sure, we know that. They've always told us that. But then I say, are you living in the sphere or on top of it? So, and I just leave it at that, because we're living within the sphere, metaphysically and physically. We're living in an egg, and we got to hatch this egg. And the only way to hatch this egg is to go back to Eden, go back to one love. And that's where people start confusing depopulation, because we have to, and we're supposed to be having divine childbirths to make it back to Eden. The procreation that we've been taught has not been taught properly. Oh, we're going to go extinct. Well, no, extinction means going back to Eden, but in a loving way, in a divine timed way. So I'm not sure if that really answers your question, but there is no real measure. Everything was done in Egyptian times in arm lengths, because the size of the body always changes. If you have not seen Hangman 1128 and his beautiful video, he's got a bunch of, but if you can find the one that was done so, because somebody pieced it together with him, some songs, and he shows you that the mountains are just petrified trees, which is so beautiful. And when there's no disputing it. And then I follow another guy out of in somewhere out in the Middle East. He's Arabic, and he's showing you all these small fruit, small little red little bells that hang off of those plants, and there's thousands of them everywhere that they're about 6 feet in diameter, 8 feet tall, that look like huge vases scattered all over the place. Those are just petrified plant flowers. It's beautiful. We are beautiful, and we're infinite. So no one can measure how far the sun is. All you can do is measure where you think a light is, because all planets are lights. They're not rocks. They're not rocks. They're lights. And those are supposed to be
Stars.
our lifelines. Those are
Stars.
communication. When you stare into the light, you can communicate. But stare to the dark too, the black, because that's where spirit's at. The other ones are stars that have made it through here, and I call it a graduation. The dimmer the star, the more pure it is. So yeah, how far is the firmament? Well, it's a ratio of what Ken teaches at 4.23606. That's the max throw in a field, but that's just a ratio. So the field is always changing in size. But right now, the magnetic field is decreasing and the dielectric field is increasing, just like a stronger magnet. And so that means more dielectricity, which is love, is hitting us to cleanse us. So there was so many rituals that people used to do in the past, including the churches. The churches were built by really good truthers before tyranny took it over and man tried to make pixels out of it. Those things vibrated at the right frequencies to help cleanse your body every Sunday instead of waiting for your cleanse to come. So that's what church was about, a bunch of people getting together and feeling good. Heck, I just found out what the host was. The host was made from Amanita muscaria. I can talk about that if we want to later, whatever, but they were taking the Amanita muscaria so they can talk with source, talk with angels, talk with spirit, and then say the sermon. Somehow that got lost in the ways. We were in the dark ages. It was the last steps. So, but now it's time to come out. So I'm not sure if I answered your question because there is no real answer, but it has to do with Plato's divided line. If you ever get a chance, you want to read about that one. It was so awesome. Ken Wheeler does a bunch of videos on it.
You did not answer my question, so it's fine.
Right.
You know,
Because there's no
I try
answer.
to. I'm sorry. I know you like to speak. I try to keep it simple. So Karen told me that you're very much of an astrologist. So I get it now. So if you don't mind me, can I ask you a few questions?
100%.
Okay. So where are you from?
You mean where was I born?
Yeah.
So I was born in Windsor, Ontario, Canada, and right
Okay.
now we're in Florida. We're staying here because with everything going on, I want no one to tell me that I can't come visit my grandson.
Okay.
Because they keep telling they're closing the borders, but yet you can fly. Until all that mess is gone, staying near the grandson. That's who I am and who me and my wife are. Right?
Okay.
That little guy's a little spirit, and I can see he needs us around.
Okay, cool. That's awesome.
Yes.
I'd like to hear that. Amy, go ahead. It looks like you want to say something.
Oh, no, I was just going to say that's really lovely that Claudio is and his wife are close to their grandchild. That's all I was going to say. So you all carry on, Brett.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Okay. Well, I mean, thank you, Amy. And I
You're
think it's important to like speak about these kind of things because sometimes it hits home like personally when these kind of things happen in the media and politics and so forth. So you know, and I like you, Claudio, that you're speaking so much truth and I can feel your spiritual level. So I understand that you're very passionate about, how you think, how you feel, and you've done a lot of research uh, uh, on this subject. So I applaud you. I think you're awesome.
Yeah, and he's come on
Me
to
too.
just explain that why we're going through the mess that we are. Most people don't realise it because he's understood it.
Right. That's cool. That's cool. I've been through it. I don't go into the depth that Claudio goes through, but um, I guess the best way I can describe it is I have my own journey, right? So like we all as truthers have their own journey of how they caught up to the lies of what we've been taught. So, you know, um, so for me, it's really awesome to hear people's journey and their stories about how they went through this whole journey about
I think also
seeking
that
truth.
Claudio's an empath as well, and he just likes to help people. Amy's an empath,
Yes.
so that's why
Okay.
she comes on my hangouts. But Claudio
Yes.
has understood by he's got this amazing wheel with all the dates on it, which line up to the stars. So I wanted him to explain to the people why we're going through this right now, even if you don't realize that's what's going on. That's what's going on, because we're all taught to look at our iPhones and our screens, and really it's all happening above your head.
That's right.
Well, cool. Good. I mean, it's great to hear from Claudio, and like I've described in the past, I don't know if I'm an empath, but I have a degree in psychology, so I can read people very quickly. Um, and as I've described, I can I know how to say, well, I read this person, but I'm gonna walk away and just do whatever I'm doing, and then maybe another day I can talk to them and find out what's going on. But I'm not that it's not
Well,
that important to me.
we all do different things, don't we? I mean, I really enjoyed the hangout that we've just had. But Claudio's slight different subject here, but we all do our bit in this. We're all parts of the puzzle.
That's
Right.
right.
So I wanted this hangout was sort of for Claudio to explain to people why everything around them is a mess, because it's the stars. They're doing their cleanse, right, Claudio?
Yep, 100%. And yeah, I know we talk empath versus, sorry, I'm drawing a blank on the other word there, narcissist. I guess that is two categories, but your chart, your natal chart, and doing it properly is who you are. It's your DNA. Um, I've done enough charts now where I can see exactly what causes people to not want to be in this life, what causes them not to feel good, what causes them to get on that not high, the opposite of high. I like to keep using positive words, like I said. So we've done enough charts to know that it's their karmic attachments, their karmic life, their lessons, their wake up calls. Done enough of them that I'm dealing with a brother who has been through it all himself, and now he helps others through those call agencies. When they go out and they meet with people that aren't doing well, and whenever they want to, we can show them where it's happening in their chart. gives them hope. You mean it's not me? This was planned to happen? So I know they don't teach us that in school, but once you know that, it's invigorating. We're here for a reason, but the reason is tethered.
Plus Claudio, those politricks, all those people, they're using astrology, aren't they? They're using the dates and the numbers. They're using it anyway.
Well, they use astrologers, and the astrologers aren't good people, obviously, because they're giving it to them for not the right reason. So I don't mean to judge, but it's, yeah, I mean, it's the opposite of providing abundance, because they're taking abundance. So, but everything is in your chart. And when you know that everything you've seen and everything you do, I found my surgeries in my chart. I've predicted a health issue this year. I didn't know it was going to be something. I knew it had something to do with stomach. And then it ended up being shingles. So then I went and looked up all kinds of people, asked people on Facebook. I did 6 more charts, and now I know what causes shingles in the chart. Well, how can that be? So Bayer was an astrologer. But then man got in there and took over, and they feed you pills when it's going to go away anyway. The only thing you can do is try to lessen it. The best way to lessen all your experiences is to connect, understand who you are.
It's deeper than that, though, isn't it? Because, you know, like the other day you were talking to me and this fly kept flying into me. It was happening for a few days. I look up what a fly is in that spiritual book, and it says you're uncovering things that people don't know. So this is why it's all connected. We're connected with the animals, we're connected with the trees. We just don't realize it.
Right. Once you connect, here's what happens. We're on the labyrinth, right? And on that labyrinth, there's many holes, just like snakes and ladders. If you want to take nothing but the ladders and miss all the snakes, you connect. You connect with the one love, the thought current. Once you start learning that, for an example, I was driving down the highway with my brother and friend going to visit my son up north in Ontario. We went into a traffic jam. My tire fell off. I was going about 2 miles an hour. Well, if I wasn't connected, and if I wasn't, or connecting, I should say, because nobody's really connected yet, that might have happened at 60 miles an hour. That's what happens. You start seeing all these things and you go, ooh, boy, am I glad. Ooh, boy, am I glad. I've given up a lot of materialistic things that aren't right. And I got taught them from experiences, and I go look at my chart. I don't go look at my chart, see how I'm going to feel today. No, it's not the way you do it. If you feel a dis-ease, that's just exactly what that means. You're not at ease. You go look at your chart. That means you're connecting with spirit. And that means you're starting to understand wisdom and knowledge and who you are and why you're here. They help you when you do that. They give you guidance. People come into your life. They tell you what plant to take. They tell you what natural things to take. So when you start doing that, you'll understand why this is all happening. So to do an about face and come back to narcissism, what's happening right now with Eris, the Madonna, coming into our head, in and out, cycling in and out of Pisces, red shift, materialism, to blue shift, spiritualism. People don't want to let go. They're losing control. They have to let go. They have to submit to the mother. Mama's home. She's got the wooden spoon out. That's exactly what's happening. The mother is back. Spiritual mother is back. We've had our physical mothers, some of us better than others. But you have to have a mother to be here. But the main mother is back. And I've made videos on the cycling, exactly the dates. She goes direct every year on January the 11th. I'm sure there's procession over every couple thousand years. But every January 11th, she marks the year. Where's that in class? Where's that in school? And now she's going to rise with the sun on February 1st, 2024, on Easter. Rise in the eastern point, 0 point Aries in her head, together with the sun. The Madonna and the sun are rising together. So all the breadcrumbs they left us with church and everything else, hanging on to that story, is now happening in the sky. And what comes along with that is time to let go of materialistic things. Food, shelter, water, good times with people. It's all we need. We don't need accounting. We don't need banks. We don't need money. We already run the whole world right now. There's just some sick, not good people that are taking the abundance from everybody. They thought they were controlling the realm. They're scared now. They're all going to start exiting. They're already retiring. And this Christmas is the Christmas Scrooge. You can see it acting out in the sky. It's so beautiful. So everybody's going to be visited, and they're going to be shown Christmas past, present, and future. The next 3 Christmases before the Easter of all Easters is going to happen. This Christmas is going to be tough for a lot, not easy for a lot of people. So start getting on the bandwagon and let go of all the materialistic things. And one of the biggest ones is Vesta, the Vestal Virgins. If she's strong in your chart, you'll get quite the, but you get them from every one of them. Ceres, just so you know, Ricardo, the Ceres, if you look her up, she's the one with the scythe, the sickle, the harvester of corn. Well, she's the harvester of souls. When she's in aspect with Saturn, that's when people have those experiences. It can be direct, opposite, or in a trine or in quintile. But the ones that are right across from each other and right in line, those are the people that are the ones that come see you. It's in their chart. The guy that got hit by lightning 7 times, he had Ceres, the harvester of souls, with Neptune, completely aligned in his chart. He got hit 7 times by lightning. I tried to find the exact dates. I couldn't find any dates of the lightning strikes, but I found his birth date, and there it was, plain as day. He ended up committing, he took his own life, which makes too much sense looking at his chart. If we're looking at the chart, if he understood his chart, and if he knew he's had these karmic ways and he asked for guidance, it probably would have stopped happening. So this is what we're upon. And again, as she cycles into Aries on January 11th, she goes forward in Pisces to come back into our head into Aries. That means right now she's going retrograde, means going within. We got to think about all the things we want to get rid of materialistically. And then on January 11th, when she goes direct in Pisces, heading back towards our head, we're supposed to let them go. That's why on January the 11th, it's New Year's resolution. The Mama going direct every year totally lines up with New Year's resolution of letting go of those things you shouldn't be doing. So it's all there in the stars, and it's happening. And now it's happening with great passion, vigor, and pace. So we got to jump on board. And it's simple. Just stop doing the things that aren't right. Use love everywhere. If all of a sudden you get somebody coming up and with his hand out, he wants to say, hey, you got $1 for a loaf of bread. Those are all tests. Those are all tests. We were getting lambasted with them, and now we don't see them as much because we give, and we give generously. So it's about everyone helping each other, taking down all those things that don't keep us together, and face everything, because we're going to get tested more and more and more. What's in our chart, what's in our karmic aspects in our chart, we're going to get tested more and more and more until we say, I get it. And then when they show up, you just treat it with love. And in some cases, it's different than that. You just paint the picture and wash it away, let it go. Depends whether it's physically or metaphysically, spiritually. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell, Karen.
Thanks for that, Claudio.
Yeah.
Because obviously most people might not realise what they're going through and what it all is.
Exactly.
I listen to Claudio, so I know that he tells me. So I just wanted you to put that into words, that we're going through these changes and we have to go along with it.
Right. And again, what I'm saying is from a whole bunch of brothers and sisters that I love and adore, that I've been able to piece that all together. That's one of the gifts I've been given. And I go back in my whole life, I was always able to piece the things that people and I just put them together. So I'm just like a puzzle maker.
Yes. And a
Everybody
peacemaker.
needs, yeah, everybody needs credit. You know what I'm saying? Because we're all in this together and we're all doing it together. If I had not met Karen, I wouldn't have met a lot of other people. So it's all of us. We all have our part.
Yes.
And I like getting people together.
Yes.
Claudia, how does it work? You know, like with what Rick is saying about he looks up and there's the sun and the moon in his right above his head, and now I've got a sun above my head. You're reckoning that we're making those things happen in our own worlds where we are, where we live. We're making them happen.
Well,
Because when I was
I
in
don't want to say
London,
we're
the
making it
moon was
happen.
in London.
It's just part of because we are our own field. Every atom is a field. It's infinite in and out. Everything is infinite inside and out. So that's why, how is it that we all, no matter where we're standing, we see the one line of the sun, right? You can ponder on that one for a long time. Why isn't the sun spreading across the whole water if everybody can see it from their vantage point? So that one,
Yes.
I just sit there and you know what? It's beautiful. I've been down the rabbit hole. I've seen so much, experienced so much, crawled back out, covered up the hole, know where I gotta go, and know where. And I'm trying to tell everybody that what I've pieced together from all the great brothers and sisters, and what's upon us right now, it's beautiful. It's invigorating. So yeah, Karen, it's your son, my son, her son, but it's our son. It's all of us together. It's beautiful. That's the way the ether works. We're in the ether. We're floating in the ether. We're floating in the water. We're floating in infinite atoms. Every atom is a field. We're a field. We're made up of a whole bunch of fields, and every one of those fields could be atoms. You know, with universes inside it, they call it, you know, that whole infinite thing. But it's an infinite inwards, not outwards like we've been taught. We are infinite, and we're not a random explosion.
That's right.
That's right. So we got to crack this egg. And the only way we do that is with going back to one love.
And I do understand about the doing it together bit where, you know, like Amy really helps me. We're doing it together. I'm doing it with you. I'm doing it with you, Rick. We're doing this together. We do the things
Yes.
together. And people have to realize that rather than doing it by themselves, because we can't do it by ourselves. We can only do this together
That's right.
as a people, as a whole.
Yes.
Hello, boys. You've got quiet now.
Yeah.
Amy, do you want to say anything? Because you haven't said very much. Do you want to say anything?
Yeah. Well, I was gonna ask Claudio. So, you know, we're seeing a lot of negativity right now, and how do we tune into this positive? How do we get cleansed? How do we prepare ourselves for the cleansing that you've been speaking about? Like I know you said about material things and let those things go. How can we like really is there a way that we can tune into this cleansing is what I was wondering, like just focus on the cleansing that you said that's going to be taking place as
Yeah, yeah,
opposed to yeah, how do
yeah.
we do that, like what?
Sure. Every word you speak should be positive.
Okay.
Every image that you allow in your head should be positive. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yes.
So, you know, I don't want, we don't watch TV. We pick and choose what we allow in.
Right.
Again, manifest good. So now you make good images of what you want to see in life that fit for all of us. Like I made a video that I watch. I'm trying to get, I don't want to hear my voice, but I'm trying to get one of my nieces or whatever to narrate it, the prayer. Because I made a prayer based on, I had an epiphany while I was on an IV, and I rewrote the Ten Commandments in positive light, because the power of suggestion in those Ten Commandments that was translated to English is absolutely not good. So
Yeah.
every day at 333, I watched that 1 minute and 11 seconds long video that shows nothing but positive images of what I want in my life. And it's
Oh,
abundance,
oh,
it's
cool.
abundance for all. You know, it's all the beautiful things that are the moon laws. The 10 commandments are really the common law, the moon laws.
Right.
And so to cleanse, make sure the vibrations around you are always beautiful and loving, which you seem like you
Yes.
do that already. And just ask for
Oh, thank
guidance.
you.
You can go
Yes.
on my website, and you can click on you can see there's a picture of archangels, and it's got the deities of the week, because the days of the week are the deities, which are the 7 colors of the rainbow, the 7 days of the week, right? The Sunday is Sunday, the moon day is Monday,
Right.
Tuesday, you got to switch to Italian or French, and you can see martedì is Tuesday, which is Mars. Mercoledì
Yes.
is Mercury is Wednesday. Thursday is Thursday is Jupiter. Friday is Venus Day, and Saturday is Saturn Day. So on there
Yes.
from what's her name? I'm drawing a blank. I took them. I bought the book from. She's into numerology, and she does all the archangels. So I've taken what she's had. I've changed her words into because mostly it's positive. There's a couple words that were not, and I've changed into positive words, and I made little intentions for the day of the week. But believe it or not, most law things happen in my life on Thursdays. Most environmental
Yeah.
things happen on Fridays with Venus Day. And so
Wow.
when you say your intentions on those days, you're paying respect to those lights in the sky.
Oh,
So
awesome.
so you can do all those things, say these intentions, talk to them up in the air. You don't have to go to church. This us talking right now is church. It's getting
Right.
together and trying to make each other feel good and vibe together with goodness and love. And people sometimes
Yes.
don't want to hear that. And it's like, well, that's not what life's all about. Well, then what are you going to manifest? You have God powers to manifest what you want in your life. That's law of attraction. People write books on it, right?
Yes.
So
That's
if you
right.
right, Michael Jordan, and I've met many athletes that can tell you the same thing. Before he takes his shot, before he even brings the ball up to the air, he already visualizes the shot going through the air. He watches the ball go through the net. He hears the swish. He hears the ball bounce. He hears the crowd roar and cheer before he takes the shot.
Oh,
Then he takes the
wow.
shot. Right. If you do that, you can do that with many things in life. Play it out in your head. That's your God power. And right now, if you're doing it with love, where you're going to visualize beautiful permacultured lands where people are living in community together, right? All doing what they love,
Yes.
all doing what they love,
Yes.
trading our labor because we're already doing it, and somebody's just taking a cut right now. So if you picture all
Exactly.
those beautiful things, you're going to give that strength, because that's where we are going, because Mother Nature is restoring. So
Oh,
just think beautiful thoughts, say your intentions, jump in, and try to always avoid things that are not positive. And if people are talking that way, you can very conveniently say, hey, do you mind changing those words? It just makes me feel better. If you can say, instead of that word, just say not good.
right.
Right. And then,
Yes.
then every day we got to look at ourselves and say, okay, where did I not pass? Where did I not
Mm-hmm.
do that right? If you didn't do something right that day, play it over in your head and what you should have done, and that releases it.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
You just
Um,
do it that way. Trust me, it works. It really, really does.
yes. Yeah,
But
I was raised to be, my mother was a pessimist, and so I was
okay,
brought up to, always kind of, she was very negative, and I tried not to be that way, but it's hard when you're, raised that way. My daughter, she wrote a book about using all the positive terminology, and she you have to get used to it. So she was saying, like, you don't say, I hope I don't catch that cold. You say, I'm not, I am going to be well, or something like that. Like, you really have
exactly,
to rethink your language. Yes.
Yes,
exactly,
exactly.
exactly.
Yes.
You are what you
Yeah, I
vibe.
like that.
Right. Oh, well, thank you for that, Claudio.
You're welcome.
That's what I'm gonna focus on doing.
Awesome.
Only speak positive, think positive. Yes,
We've always
and
heard people say that, but it just doesn't sound right. You know, we've heard that our whole
right.
life, but we just take it with a grain of salt. But then when you put the images involved, the images are really important.
Okay.
The images that you allow in is really, really important.
Oh
And the
yes.
English language has been changed. Every letter on the alpha beta is a glyph, and it
Uh,
paints a picture. So we've now taken those, putting them into words, and we've put not good words with some of the letters that put together, and there's no such thing. They're painting in images in our brain, which we don't want. So right now, don't use those words, even though the letters of each one mean something different than the word that we're using.
right.
Right. So we need to bring that back into the schools. The schools need to be teaching the alpha beta, not spelling.
Yes.
Right.
That's brilliant. Oh, oh, thank you, Claudio.
No, thank
I
you.
appreciate that.
And I thank everybody that I learned from.
Just
Oh,
asking Rick, what do you make of what Claudio's just said? Hello, Rick? Rick, are you there? Rick, we can't hear you, Rick. Hello, hello? Oh, well, sorry, Amy, what do you make of that then? I was Rick maybe has left the computer for a bit, but what do you make of it then, Amy, what Claudio's just said? Amy?
oh, can you hear me?
I
And
can, yeah, it's
now,
Claudio's.
I think I turned my microphone off by accident. I think I leaned one. Um, you can hear me now.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's really just very. I do agree with what Claudia said, and it's really brilliant, and it makes sense. And like I was saying, I guess I've always been the person. I never had self confidence for some reason, and even though I would get really good grades at school, I would go to school the morning of a test and say, well, I'm probably gonna fail, but then I wouldn't. I'd get an A. Like, I think that's created a lot of the anxiety I have in my. I always have like an anxious personality, which I'm trying to overcome. But I don't know why I was always just kind of that. If you've heard of that Murphy's Law, if anything can go wrong, it will go wrong. That was sort of my philosophy for
right, so now
a
you're gonna have to
long
change that.
time.
You're gonna have
Yes,
to
I
change
had
that
to
now.
break out of that, and I'll
Everything that
tell
can go
you.
right will go right.
Yes, that's right. Yes,
But see, it's
and
a lot of times we go into the medical industry and they give us a label, and then we own that.
exactly.
Then we own that label, and then we think we're that label. So you have to remove those labels because you said a couple words there, and that's not you. So you got to
Right.
remove those words. You got to say, I'm healthy, I'm beautiful, I'm relaxed, I'm patient, I'm calm. You got to use all those words and repaint the image of who you are,
Yes.
because I'm doing it. I'm doing it right now. And I know Karen's doing it. And I'm sure Ricardo's doing it too. We're picturing you being
Yes.
a beautiful person. So as long as you give that vibe to everybody, they'll give it back to you. But if you
Oh,
paint the picture of something different, they're going to paint that picture and help you be who you don't want to be.
that's true. That
So don't
makes a
wear those
lot of
labels, and don't
sense.
and don't say those labels to anybody either.
Okay.
You with me?
Yes. Yes.
Right, right,
I like that. That's
right.
wonderful.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
people say, "Well, but I got to be able to talk what I was like." Okay, but use it in good words. Yeah, I was
Right.
not as relaxed as much as I should be. I was not as brave as much as I should be.
Exactly.
Right? You can say all the opposite
Yes.
words, but just paint pictures and don't use them. You can still get your
Oh,
story across by using positive words.
right. Oh, that's
Yeah,
a great lesson. I'm gonna start start right now with that.
Awesome.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Claudio. And when you look at someone's birth chart, so you're able to see like what illnesses and things that they may occur in their lifetime. Is that
No,
am I
I don't.
understanding that correctly?
Yeah, no. Well, we don't do that because that's like trying to paint a label of what's coming. What
Oh,
we do
true.
is try to avoid them by connecting it. And like I said,
Oh,
that's like that
yes.
tire falling off slowly when you connect and you start learning. So when you feel a dis-ease, that's when you go look.
Okay.
Right. Went back and looked at my past surgeries just to see if I could find them, and of course I did. It's getting so much easier now when I do people's charts to look at something. Hey, this happened to me. I go look, so it's going to be gone by here. I just did that with a
Yeah.
neighbor that had this huge boil underneath his arm, and it was like, and he ended up. I was off by 2 days, and then I missed one little thing and when it popped, so it's cleared. So I'm learning, I'm researching, and I'm learning. So, but it lasted on the 2.5 weeks. I was off by 2 days. But then again,
Wow.
I missed the one more aspect that carried it through, and when it peaked is when it popped, which is really cool. So,
Yes.
but there's a reason why it happened. He needs to cleanse, and I don't want to repeat it on here, but there was something spiritually, physically that he needed to change, and he realizes it, and he realizes
Yeah.
that it's a wake up call, right? So
Oh, great.
yeah, I wouldn't. If you want to do your chart and start looking at it, I can help coach you, teach you how to do that. Like I say to everybody, the first hour is free, and every hour after that is free. So we don't
Oh,
charge any pixels for doing that. But in order to do that, you got to learn who the players are, think back of past experiences so you know what your trigger points are. But then again, you
yeah.
don't really need to do that as long as you know when you get your tests, when they come upon you, whether they're physical or spiritual, then you can go back and see your chart and see what it is. And you go, oh, that's what it is. And that's when some truth comes out about us to know why they're happening.
Right. So
So
then you would,
basically, Claudio's got to teach them how to be themselves.
yes.
Or yeah, no, or I just go step. I've done it with many people. I step you through it, and then whenever you feel a disease, you say, "Can you help me go step through this?" And of course, I do. It literally takes minutes. It literally takes minutes.
Right, Rick had to leave the hangout there, so we've said goodbye to Rick. Claudio or Amy, please carry on.
Yes. Uh, well, um, yeah, that's awesome, Claudia, that you offer the help and everything, and as you said, and you don't charge anything, and it's all for free, and
Oh, for,
um, I know that you have a lot of ways that you try to help people. I don't know if you remember, but when my dad was very ill, he had a brain tumor, and then the radiation treatments destroyed him. And I was getting in touch with you, and you were going to offer me some help, but it was too late for my dad. He had just really taken a terrible turn for the worse. But I always remember that that you were going to offer to help with his condition. And
right.
I even told my dad, I said, Dad, I said, I've met a very nice man called Claudio, and
Oh,
he has some ways that he can help you. And my dad's eyes lit up and he nodded his head up and down, and he couldn't even
mm,
really speak at that point. But I just always remember that you would have been willing to help, except that it just, as I said, it just
it
got
wasn't
too
time.
late.
It was just time. Yeah.
So.
But they're still there. My mom gives me signs all the time, incredible signs. So all you got to do is keep talking to them. They're there. They're
Yes,
absolutely there.
Claudia, what do you think about
right.
that part where people are now talking? Obviously, you don't want any injections because they're injecting you with something wrong that can cause cancer. But what about this bit where you could actually get cancer maybe up to 7 times in your lifetime? You just don't want to go to the doctors when you've got it because then they'll put you on treatment. Those that aren't aware. But you don't realize that cancer's a good thing. It's protecting your body.
Yeah,
And
I've
then
not
they cut
heard.
it out.
Oh well, yeah. It's well. the the cancer is just a bunch of cells sticking together that have gone through um, basically that are in need of a cleanse. They're not working properly, and that comes from several different things. And when you go to hospital, you go into a world where there's not much love as far as the nurses and the doctors. I mean, they're trying to give love, but the pharmaceutical and the equipment, there's no love there. That's all about making money.
Yes.
So those processes and those things are idealistic and to me go against nature. If you need to have it done, you need to have it done. Sometimes it's just unavoidable. I get it. But the healing portion, and like I know I'm trying to get to answer your question about cancer, but all diseases are things that are supposed to wake us up to why did we get to this disease? And the answers are out there. They're out there, and now they're becoming so evident. It's because we were more interested in making pixels, money, and equipment and everything else, not looking for the underlying issues, which are really spiritual, physical, and metaphysical in nature. So everything that happens to us happens for a reason. And the more materialistic we are, the stronger they will be. Right?
Yeah.
So the medical, like, Karen, yes, the body can heal itself. The body can also spiritually ask for guidance and for help. There can be miraculous cures. I haven't witnessed those myself, but in the same token, when you grab a plant or you grab love or you grab whatever to help the healing process and it goes away, that's part of the miracle. So the more and more
Yes.
we tune in there, the more and more this is going to happen because more and more people are learning about what to take with Mother Nature. I've hooked up with an Indian doctor, Ayurvedic doctor in India. She charges $12 for an hour consultation on what to take.
Yeah.
I'm connecting with her because I want to learn more about the Ayurvedic and how it applies with us and what we're learning with medical astrology. Because what plants to use for what. But I want to know it. I don't want to guess it. I don't want to just see it. I want to know why it's that plant, what its
Right.
vibe is. We got people working on these, an analyzer to understand what's in all the different cannabis strains, or for that matter, what terpenes are in any plant. And knowing that vibration and knowing the planets and knowing your natal chart, we want to know that this plant's going to heal you. But at the same time, the reason why it's able to heal you is because you're now connecting with Mother Nature, one love, spirit. It's designed that way so that we can remember who we are and how to heal. So,
Yes.
Karen, to answer your question, that whole what they do to people, it's when you're stepping in there, I guess it's something that you want. Because when you start wearing the label that you have something, you're going to go in there, wear that label, and then wear yourself out. So
I
it's
agree.
although we have our own journeys, because everybody likes to say that word, but we all have to end up in the same place. So if somebody has to turn right or left because of their natal chart, but know full well that you can jump off of that journey and jump, I like to call it time travel, into your next or next or next life that you were destined to live to get lessons. You can learn those lessons now and jump up a couple rungs on the ladder, just like the snakes and ladders game. That's a labyrinth. So again, trying to answer
Right.
your question, Karen, it's about labels and going into those places where those things that they weren't made with love. When we make an
Right.
oil to help heal people, it's amazing how it works because you did it with love. When you make something
Yes.
for profit, I'm not saying there's people out there that do it with love, but they still have to make some money so they can survive. That's
Right.
okay. I'm not judging. I'm just able to, when we grew our marijuana and helped heal people, we did it all for free.
I
We've never
know.
sold We've never sold 1 penny. We've never charged 1 penny for anything we've ever gave out. We grew it for free. We made it for free. It cost us the oil. If somebody wanted to give us a bottle of oil, God bless them. We didn't even ask. But somebody says, no, I want to give you something. Then give me a bottle of olive oil. Thank you.
Wow.
So, but when you do it with love, it helps heal because it's a vibration you're giving to them. The vibration, just like the memory in the water that that Chinese doctor did. When you're given that oil has the love in it. So just like when you speak with words, with loving words, there's love in it. It makes people feel good. I don't want to listen to
Yes.
myself talk. I don't. I want to hear people talk back in the same loving manner, which you guys do. When we all do
Oh,
it that way, then now it's like we're amplifying. Because love versus not love, there's a huge difference. One's exponential and one's just additive.
right.
Right.
Well,
So I hope I
I
answered your question, Karen.
well, I know I read years ago when I was probably maybe 12 years old. I read this article that said that Eastern medicine thinks that Western medicine is very cruel because, like, if a person does have a cancer, the doctors just come out and tell you have cancer, you'll only have this much time to live. And it said that in Eastern medicine, they don't tell the person that they have this cancer. They would they give them other, I guess, maybe herbal or whatever. But they said also the hope that's in these people's heart because they don't think that they have a terminal illness. It actually produces chemicals within the body that heals them. And whereas in Western medicine, they tell you have cancer, you're only going to live this many months, and it immediately does something. You kind of give up. And
Right.
so I never forgot reading that, and I thought that makes, and especially the part that the hope that a person has that their body can heal itself because of it produces chemicals. This person said that helps with the healing process. And I know when my father found out the timeline, they told him 3 months without treatment, and something shut down in him when he heard that. And then he took the
Hmm.
treatments to try to prolong his life. But I just think the whole experience was so negative that he just didn't. In addition to the treatments, that radiation and everything, but also the negative mindset that they give you, and
Hmm.
like you said, the lack of love that's in it. I think it all contributed to his passing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yes.
And and the doctors are there. They get a lot of them get kickbacks from the not all of them, but a lot of them get kickbacks. Um, the when the reason why they have to tell you is because the insurance companies. So nobody wants to lose any pixels. So it becomes all an idealistic thing again about
Y-
dollars and not
oh
love.
yes.
And not love, not so ever. And in hospital food, all full of GMO, and they give
Oh,
it's yeah. You're going into a place that has a lot of lack of love, other than the beautiful nurses. And there's so much staff there that are loving. Don't get please. I'm not judging.
right.
It's just that you're walking in with a label, and you're walking
Exactly.
in like it's you're not going to be good. And
Right.
but if you knew you were infinite, then you say, well, no, I mean, I'm infinite. So why do I got to go in there? I don't like it in there. I'll stay home. Whatever happens, happens.
Exactly.
Whatever happens, happens to me. And yeah, I'll try that natural method. And come on, I want to party with people, and I want to love, and I want to live. It's like, if I got to come back, I'll come back.
That's right. I
But we,
agree.
but man did a really good job of teaching us that we're not infinite. But then again, it's part of our journey, part of our tests, part of our lesson we're supposed to have. Being
Right.
left alone in a sandbox with our brothers and sisters who lost their way.
Yes.
So we
Yeah.
got to love everybody that's out there because they're still our brother and sister. We still got to
Exactly.
pray for them and send them love. And that's, I mean, I get people that, once in a while they say things that aren't good to me because they don't want to jump in or whatever, but it's like, okay. But I just keep saying just beautiful things back to them in a really nice way. And unless they get, yeah, it's whatever, because their soul is going to feel it regardless.
That's right.
Their external is going to be not good with you, but it's okay. You're talking to the soul. Always remember that.
Exactly.
Which is our collective conscious, which is our yin. The yin is the same one in all of us.
Yes.
So
Right. And it's better just to show love, and then if they don't want to accept it, then that's their problem. But I think it's kind of poisonous to our soul to hold one to a grudge or hate. I'd rather
yeah,
just
exactly.
show them the love, and if they don't want to give it back, okay, well, that's for them. But I'm not going to
Yeah.
let the bitterness eat me up. That's
No,
what I try to work
that's right. Law of
on.
attraction. Law of attraction.
Yes, the
Eventually,
law
they'll
of,
be surrounded by love everywhere, and they'll be induced.
yes.
It's just, yeah, there's gonna have a bunch of love magnets all the way around them.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
I agree. Well, when my dad was in the hospital, when he had to have a respiratory therapist at one point come in because he was choking, and so the lady came in, and she was like, I think maybe a Middle Eastern country or maybe India, and she said, you know what the best cure is the love and support that you're going to show your dad. She said that's what's the best cure. So I did like that she said that. I mean, she had to do her part to help him because he was choking, and she did that. But then she turned to us and said, "But you know, it's the family's love and support that's gonna be able to get your dad well." You know, so she did say that, and we did meet some very kind nurses and loving. Some of them were not, but there were lots of. But the doctors, you don't even see them in the hospital, and when you do, oh, they are not that loving. I'll just say it that way.
Yeah, I pray for the doctors because I mean they're very intelligent, but they've been taught to be pharmaceutical marketing sales agents, and then
Exactly.
so they're going to experience and what they're going to see and what's been done in their life. I pray for them because um, just like all of us, we go to school, went through university, we did all that, and then just throw your degree away. It's all good. I'm happy
Right.
now. Like I'm so blessed to have met Karen, who then meet Santos, then meet Ken Wheeler, all around the same time. And
Yes.
I'm now happy. I was happy to throw my engineering ring away and my engineering degree away because I now understand true physics, and
Yes.
everything else was secularized science, just like religion. So it's great to know the truth. So now you can sift
Right.
through the muddy waters a lot easier. And and like you say, we can just only attract the people that if people don't want to be good and they don't want to be positive, then you shine your light and you move on. They will either come
e-
back or they will get induced. It's one of the two. That's the only options they have.
Right.
But
Exactly.
but I like to say to people, well, you're infinite. Why would you want to behave that way?
That's true.
This is not your only life.
That's true. That's right.
So,
Yeah.
but be not good and have the karmic
And
attachments when you come back. So it's up to you.
right. Oh,
So, but
yeah.
no, you're good people. People that are good, they don't have enough. They have nothing. Can only be brave.
Yes. Just have to be brave. That's right.
Yeah, do you think you've covered everything? We've been going for an hour and 20 minutes. Do you think you've covered everything that you wanted to, or is there any more you want to tell us,
No,
Claudio?
that's all perfect. I probably was a little bit redundant. So
Oh,
No, no,
I think it was great. You weren't redundant.
I want you to explain it to people because a lot of people don't realise that they're going through these changes or what, even me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one
Oh,
of
I
those
get it.
dates
Yep.
you had up was quite prolific, really, because things have just been happening right in my life, even on that day.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So I
get
just
ready.
wanted people
It's
to
going to be a
know.
very interesting Christmas, and I pray for everyone that there's going to be a lot of love coming out. A lot of
Yes.
love.
Yes, I pray that too.
Or you find the people that you can be. You know, like I know Amy loves me and I love Amy, so Christmas will be great because Amy's going to be there. It's that kind of thing.
Awesome.
Yes.
And you, Claudio, and
Well,
you. I'm just saying.
Yes.
we love you too, and we'll be there in spirit.
Yes.
Amy, is there anything else you want to say?
Oh, just thank you for inviting me into the hangout, Karen. It's been very, just very enlightening, and I always enjoy listening to Claudio. He is just brilliant with his ideas, and I'm gonna take into account what you said, Claudio, about positive thoughts and speaking and images, and let go of the negative.
Yep,
So
and just reflect every day or every other day, and how could have I handled that differently? I do it all the time. I mean, we're getting tested all the time, Kathy and I. I mean, it's just it happens, and it's just our way of one more time being able to try to uh, repaint those pictures and do better the next time. So it's all good. Thank you very much, Karen.
I was just
Again,
eating my pie
I
then, and
thank
half of it just went on the floor, and the dog's eating it. There you go. My pie was for the dog.
you.
Yeah, it was. Thank you very much for your input, Claudio. I'm going to stop the recording. We can say goodbye when we stop recording. But Claudio, mwah, Amy, mwah, and Rick was there for a bit. But anyway, and chat room. Mwah. Anyway, that's the
Thank
end
you.
of the hangout from us. Thank you for
Okay.
your input there. Okay, everybody.